My God, what did I just witness? What did I just witness? Brock Lesnar, who we have not seen in 2 years since SummerSlam 2023 when he lost to Cody Rhodes in the opener of that SummerSlam, made a stunning, shocking return. Oh my God. Guys, holy cow. This has had the this had to be the shocker of the whole entire SummerSlam, the shocker of the night. Brock Lesnar, uh, who we haven't seen since he lost against Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam 2023, who we haven't seen because of the whole Janelle Grant lawsuit. He's back, and I mean, I I don't even know what to say. I mean, this was probably one of the best kept secrets. I don't know, with that case if he was involved in it or not. I don't know. And I don't know if we ever will know, but I guess he was cleared because there was reports, you know, that he was in big trouble. At least that's what one of the UFC fighters, I can't think of his name right now, but I know he mentioned something about that. So he was kind of blocking coming back, and they've been referencing his name or making references to him since he's been gone. But this was just insane. Cody Rhodes beats John Cena in the main event of SummerSlam Night 2 in John Cena's last match. Excellent match. Much better than the WrestleMania match. Cody Rhodes stopped at everything to win the title back for a second time. Cena hit him with about 7 or 8 AAs. One early in the match, one avalanche AA that Cody kicked out of. One he hit from when he actually pulled up from the entrance of Cody, where Cody entered the ring at. Hit him with an AA on the stage, and he also hit him with an AA outside. And then so he hit him with several AAs in the match. Cody hit him with three trifecta crossroads, which Cena kicked out of. Cena actually managed to bust out a sunset flip on Cody outside of the ring. And he actually hit the famous term Cody, hit him with an AA in the ring with that as well. So, I mean, these guys were stopping at nothing. These guys were, you know, doing everything it took, even fighting outside the ring, fighting in the crowd with the street fight. I mean, this was just everything you would expect in the main event of SummerSlam. Much, much better, And I thought the WrestleMania match, it struggled, not just because of like what happened at the end of the match, but even during the match, it just kind of struggled. But with them both being baby faces in this one, um, you know, it worked, and then also the stipulation helped it as well. But yeah, this was everything. Casina actually hit an AA on to Cody through the announce table as well, so it was a lot of everything you'd expect, and it took for Cody to hit. It almost looked like an RKO, some type of cut on Cena to the table, hit him with the crossroads again to finally win the belt back. They do the code of honor, they shake hands. Cena's with the fans, and this is when I knew something was up because the fact that Cody didn't turn heel, Cena his face turn wasn't a ruse like some Wade Barrett was saying on commentary. He felt like it may have been like the old Cena may have been trickery or something. No heel turn from Cody, no turn for Cena, and he's in the ring gracing the fans because Cena's about to film a movie, and all of a sudden Brock Lesnar music hits. I just went off my feet because we have not seen Brock Lesnar, even though it's been references about him ever since that lawsuit started. We have not seen him since last year. SummerSlam. What's crazy is that he basically turned face. Like when he lost to Cody, he turned face. He hugged Cody at the end of that. He almost like he passed the torch to Cody because they had a trilogy, which Cody won the first one at Backlash. He beat Brock at Backlash. Then they had another match. I think it was at what show was that? I can't think of the show right now. But I know they had a trilogy. The SummerSlam one was the third one, but they had a match before that, that I don't want to say it was at Money in the Bank, but it was on one of those ever shows, and and Brock won that match, and then he beat Brock in the opener of SummerSlam in 2023. So you know he turned face at the end of that, and then he was rumored to come back. Supposedly he was supposed to come back at the Rumble and have a match, set up something with Dominic, I think at the Chamber this year or something, or no, it's of last year. I think that was supposed to happen, but then they scrapped it. Um, but that was kind of where they were going, but they ended up scrapping it. So um, the fact that he's back is just mind blowing to me because I guess this means that whatever was going on with that case, I guess they just decided he was cleared to come back because they never said he was completely banned from coming back. It was just like, they was just like, uh, Triple H was just kind of like, oh well, you know, if he wants to come back, he said something along those lines. So he was never banned from coming back, but the fact that he shows up, ironically, in the same show that we last seen him, comes out, Cena looks, you know, not smiling because he knows what's going to happen, and then he gets F5'd by Brock Lesnar. It's crazy. I mean, we know Cena's going to be gone for a while, so I don't know if this means it's going to be yet another a final match between him and Brock. Because the last time they went at it was, I believe it was back in 2014. Actually, no. Yeah, I think their last singles match was Night of Champions 2014 because that was the match that Seth Rollins got in and caused the DQ. The last time they was in the same ring together was, I believe, at the Royal Rumble 2015, and one of the classics where Brock Lesnar retained his WWE Championship at the time, Royal Rumble 2015. That's the last time they were in the same ring. But the last time that they had a singles match, I want to say was Night of Champions. Oh wait, no, I'm so sorry. Uh, yeah, yeah, I want to say that was it because yeah, I want to say that was it because since Brock has been back, prior, since the pandemic, they haven't touched. Because when Cena came back in 2021, he had that match with Roman at SummerSlam, which is when Brock made his return since prior to the pandemic, when he, confronted Roman. So, yeah, I really want to say, uh, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say Night of Champions 2014 was the last singles match they had against each other because after that, they had the triple threat at the Rumble, but I don't think they touched, like, because you got to keep in mind, Cena was hurt for like the first half of 2016, so they didn't really touch that year. I know they didn't really touch in 2017 either. They definitely didn't touch in 2018, and then after that, Cena was making sporadic appearances. So that had to have been when it happened. Night of Champions 2014. For some reason, I was thinking it was a little bit more recent than that, but that's more so with Roman than with Cena. Um, I'm pretty sure it was, but I don't know. But like I said, it's going to be interesting what this means, with Cena being gone, who is, Brock going after. I mean, because we've seen him and Cody have a trilogy, so I wouldn't see him, going after Cody again for the title, you know, considering when they feuded in 2023, Cody wasn't even champion at the time. Roman was still the champion. So it's just going to be interesting. And Seth Rollins was the champion over when they, brought that other title a little bit. When they brought the other title at Night of Champions or so. You know what? I think that was the show where Brock beat Cody at Night of Champions. Because that was the same show Seth Rollins won the other title, the world title, beating AJ Styles in the finals of that tournament. And yeah, so I don't think they would do that again. But I'm very curious to what this means with Brock being back and Cena being gone for a while. Who's he going after? What's the target for this? I mean, this, like I said, was a shocker tonight. I did not expect this. But if you're not going to have Cena turn back heel, if you're not going to have Cody turn back heel, I figured they were going to have something happen to be. And credit to them because, night one, the surprise was Seth Rollins. CM Punk beating Gunther. The only way you figure that would happen is if Seth Rollins got involved. I still have mixed feelings about Seth Rollins cashing just because I feel like if his whole injury to LA Knight was a work, then why would they have LA Knight win? And it really didn't do much for him. So that's kind of the only issue I have with that. But he supposedly was injured and then comes out on his crunch and then cashes in on CM Punk after CM Punk beats Gunther in a really good main event. Really good main event. It was slow paced, but it picked up on certain parts of it, and Gunther was more of the aggressor because he felt like he had something to prove. And CM Punk, you know, it took two GTSs because he took a lot of chops in the match to the point where his chest was bleeding. But it took two GTSs. He even managed to get out as sleeper in that match. Um, and they both did the sharpshooter first, Gunther, and then he countered it. So there was a lot of that going on in GTS, and then Seth Rollins after all of that cashed in. So that was the shocker of night one. So they figured, okay, well, we got to do something bigger for night two to close out SummerSlam, and I got to give it to him because I didn't. There was no reports. There was nothing. No leaks. And it's hard to keep returns surprise nowadays with any wrestling company. Because it's all over the internet. But because of this whole thing with Brock, like him potentially just never coming back or not being back anytime soon, the thought of him even showing up at SummerSlam was it's just crazy. And it's even more crazy when you consider the last time we seen him was at SummerSlam. So just a shocker tonight to me. I'm just stunned by it. I cannot believe that they went in this direction. And like I said, as far as the case is concerned, I really don't know what to say as far as that's concerned. I guess this means he was cleared. I mean, that's the only way I could see that they allowed him to come back is because he must have been cleared, So that's the only thing I could think about with that, because you really don't know. I don't know how that turned out. But I guess he was cleared because that's the only way I could see him being able to return. Otherwise, there's no way he would have been able to come back. But I guess he was cleared. And yeah, I mean, you know, uh, like I said, I don't know what to say about that because I don't know. But he's back, and yeah, this going to be really interesting where they're going with this. Uh, yeah, I, it's just crazy. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to talk about this return. There's a lot of other stuff that happened elsewhere in the show, but I just wanted to focus on this because this was the shocker of the night, probably the whole entire SummerSlam. Even more of a shocker because the thing about last night was, that was kind of leaked, and they had mentioned that was the plan for Seth to cash in, so it wasn't that big of a shocker. The shocker was more so whether or not Seth was injury was a work or a shoot. You couldn't, at least for some of us, we couldn't fully tell. But in this case, there was no reports about, to my knowledge, because I could be wrong. Maybe it was some reports somewhere else, but I didn't see no leaks of anything about Brock Lesnar coming back. So this was a shocker to me. And I didn't think he was coming back, because the loss, like the Janelle Grant stuff never stopped. I don't, like, they just completely end the case. Like, I don't know. I don't think they ever actually stopped the case. So, unless they just decide, oh, he was innocent or whatever they did, he came back. So, and he was never mentioned by name, but it was described that the person she was talking about was him. So I guess we'll never know, and I'm not gonna say anything else about it other than the fact that this was, just a shock of the night. So Brock Lesnar, comes back, and yeah, um, it's this is gonna be a SummerSlam to remember. I mean, all the matches didn't hit the mark fully for night one, um, and night two. I seen some of them, but the ending is what matters. If you even if you don't remember certain stuff about the undercard, which I thought most undercard for tonight was excellent, especially the AJ Styles and Dominic match was really good, and the TLC match, of course, from the little bit I seen from that. Uh, but you know, I didn't see the women's triple threat, but I'm sure that was a great match. Unfortunately, I missed that match, but I'm sure it was great when Naomi Rhea and we know what they could do. I'm sure that was an excellent match. But yeah, and the Lyra and Becky match was decent, but I would say their backlash match was probably still the best match they had, though. The first one they did, because I don't know, this one the crowd was kind of dead for some of it, but yeah, um, at this, what matters is how you close the show, and both nights had a strong way to close the show. So with that, hey, it it was a success. So that's pretty much it, guys. Sign off, Ray. That's the flex. I'm scrolling so you guys know. Peace.